Hi guys, so when it comes to the Northern Ireland Protocol, the Northern Ireland Secretary of State Brandon Lewis stood up in the House of Commons and said that the British government were going to break international law, but in a limited and specific way. Well, the law breaking could be extended to other parts of the Withdrawal Agreement, it seems. Priti Patel's Home Office has issued EU nationals with directions for removal, even though they were able to prove that they had applied for settled status. People were told in the run-up to the deadline that anyone who had applied would be protected. This seems no longer the case. Surprise, surprise. Both ministers and MPs for the Conservative Party had promised on a number of occasions that any EU citizen who had applied by the 30th of June would have their existing rights maintained. This would be for the duration while their case was being heard by the Home Office. The failure to stand by the agreement has led to accusations that Home Office officials have been incompetent when it comes to processing claims, or perhaps there are instructions from the top to deport as many EU nationals as possible, as they don't have the same protections enjoyed by groups like refugees or asylum seekers. The head of immigration enforcement was sent a letter on the 29th of last month by the charity Bail for Immigration Detainees, which highlighted Priti Patel's failure to recognise the receipt of many applications for settled status. Some holders of these receipts are expected now to be deported. The charity has said that if it doesn't receive a meaningful response by the end of this week, it will escalate the matter to the European Commission by official complaint. Thousands of people could be affected by this action by the Home Office. This would result in many people being deported after being told that they would be allowed to remain while their application was processed. It also potentially could create some conflict between Boris Johnson's government and the European Commission, as this would be in effect another breach in the Withdrawal Agreement. Last week, one EU citizen narrowly avoided deportation after a UK judge accepted they couldn't be removed due to the receipt of their EU settled status application. However, the person isn't out of the woods yet, as they were released on bail. In what seems to be an expansion of Theresa May's toxic environment, or perhaps just something to keep racists and bigots happy, the Home Office contested the release and provided no apology to the individual. A spokesperson for the charity representing EU nationals told the media, "It seems that the Home Office has pre-decided the fate of certain EU nationals, perhaps believing that they will be easy to remove. But in its drive to deport more people, it is sidestepping legal requirements and procedures. Whether this is due to administrative or willful neglect may be unclear, but by ignoring the legal steps that EU nationals have undertaken to assert their rights, the UK is in breach of its duties under the Withdrawal Agreement." Government ministers have also promised to protect those who have not applied but have legitimate reasons to stay. Also, a case that was highlighted by the charity was an EU citizen who had made the application online, submitted it, and still received directions for removal by the Home Office. Priti Patel's department has rejected such claims, saying that the media has failed to provide any proof whatsoever that any individuals with settled status were being served removal directions. A spokesperson for the Home Office said, "Our approach means that should immigration enforcement encounter anyone with EU settled status, but who may not be eligible, we will work with them to enable them to apply and signpost them to the available support. If someone has applied to the EU settlement scheme by the 30th of June deadline, but has not had a decision yet, their rights are protected until their application is decided." I've said this before and I'll say it again. Brexit was twofold: disaster capitalism for the likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg, and the other was an attempt to keep racists and bigots happy. This seems to be an attempt to keep the latter satisfied, carry out deportations, target the easiest and the ones with fewer protections, and then show the voters just how callous you really are. Is this all an attempt to impress the voters? Is there an election on the horizon? Finally, I want to show you an image that was part of the Vote Leave campaign back in 2016 on this particular issue. It says, "There will be no change for EU citizens already lawfully resident in the UK. EU citizens will automatically be granted indefinite leave to remain in the UK and will be treated no less favourably than they are at present. Another Brexit lie exposed. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?